Hey guys, it's Steve from Performance Institute here. Just wanted to talk about a little different technique that maybe you haven't heard about before. It comes from a brilliant therapist named Nikos Apostolopoulos. He showed me this technique about 20 years ago that he calls microStretching. And the basic concept is to keep the stretch very mild. So he likens it to putting your hand into lukewarm water. You feel it, but there's no shaking against the stretch, there's no pain, and his whole concept is about getting the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your chill out system basically, to calm, relax, get into this chill out state while you do the stretch. So it allows the body to accept that stretch, get more benefit out of it, and the big goal is really trying to reduce inflammation within the body. So I find this technique works really well. We use it in our active rehab setting quite often because it's a great way to do very gentle stretching if someone has an injury. The other time I think it works really well is if you're dealing with somebody, or maybe you're dealing with a body part that's just extremely tight. What happens when we get really, really tight and locked down is the body starts to become resistant to change. So it's always in protective mode. And if you get too aggressive with the stretching, you're actually going to get a contraction against the stretch. So again, that's where that parasympathetic nervous system comes in, where we're just trying to relax everything, allow your body to get that stretch and get some good benefit out of it. So here's maybe the negative part of microstretching is, in order to get good benefit, you need to do this very frequently. So ideally, Nikos recommends that you're doing 3 sets of 1 minute every day, okay? And I think this is a good strategy if, again, you do have an injury or you do have a tight area. You need to do this very frequently if you do want to see change. So think about that, 2 to 3 sets of about 1 minute on each side. Listen to your body. The other rule of thumb is to think of the intensity of the stretch. If you're holding a stretch at, say, a 7 out of 10, 1 being you're not really feeling very much at all, 10 being get that knife out of my muscle, it should be at like a 3, 2 or 3, somewhere in there. So it's a very gentle stretch. We're just working on this microstretch technique. So it's very gentle, very calm. So think about the intensity and duration. So you're thinking of like that 3 out of 10. You're gonna hold it a minute and you should be doing about 3 sets of each stretch in order to get benefit. When you do this, and you're doing it consistently, it definitely causes a dramatic change. So a couple things you can do. You can really apply the micro-stretching technique to almost any stretch that you want. But the basic premise is keep your body relaxed. So a lot of the typical stretches that you may think of, maybe I want to do some sort of IT band stretch or lat stretch standing, that would go against the micro-stretching philosophy. You'd want to do that lying down on the ground so your body's very relaxed. You could do a classic kind of piriformis stretch for your hip where you would be lying down and you would just do a crossover of the leg. You could hold the ankle and you'd be in a very supported position, possibly with a pillow under your head, possibly a pillow under your hip, just to stay as relaxed as possible so you feel that tension at about that 3 out of 10. Another great stretch you can try using that micro-stretching technique is you could use a doorway or a squat rack if you have one, so your hamstring can stay totally relaxed, and then you're going to go into that stretch while you go, keeping a soft bend in the knee, not forcing any pain to that stretch. So again, always stay in a relaxed, supported position, low intensity of that stretch, and then again, remember that minute. So again, there's tons of different ways you can apply that technique, but there's a couple for you to give it a try. Be frequent with it, and hopefully it helps. Let me know if you have any questions or if we can help out in any other way. Thanks a lot, guys.